Warm welcome to everyone in attendance to day number four. Day number four of our 12 days of healing from being discarded, dumped, ghosted, and blocked by an avoidant. How's everybody doing? Are you starting to feel the pain subsiding? Is there anybody here right now who has been here for the full 4 days? Put a number 4 in the chat if you've been here for all 4 days of our 12 days of healing so far. Very good, very good. Do you feel yourself growing? It's only been 4 days. Do you feel yourself starting to grow? Beautiful. Yeah. Especially yesterday. Yeah. I'm an avoidant. Welcome. Pay attention here in class and do the series on my TikTok, How to Fix Your Avoidant, and enroll in healing school. Yeah, you'll notice that as you continue with us for the 12-day period, your pain will actually go less and less. So you'll need your pen and your paper. Your pen and your paper, make sure you have a pen or pencil, something to write with, and a piece of paper. If you're out somewhere and you can't get that in your hands, then you'll have to use your phone notepad. If you're in a place where you can relax, take a deep breath in. And then go ahead and release. And I want you to imagine pain being released through your breath. So take a deep breath in. And imagine the air that's coming in is cleansing all those areas where you feel pain inside you. And then let it out. And let the pain go out. Take a deep breath in. Let the air catch all the pain, and then let it out again. Do that one more time for me. This is one of the first things you can do, is get your breathing right when you start to feel dysregulated. When you start thinking about your ex, when you start thinking about the pain, get that deep breath in, let it catch all the pain, and let it go out. Then you want to go into your devaluation list. Your devaluation list is 8 things on a piece of paper that you don't like about the person, that aren't great about the person, or reasons why they don't qualify. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's get started with the devaluation list. It's our most effective tool to immediately bring down the pain of missing the ex, of wanting the ex, of having the questions about them. We're doing the devaluation list. Eight things on a piece of paper, reasons why they do not qualify. Write it down. Don't forget to mention on your list. Not a good communicator. If they ghosted you, if they blocked you, they didn't communicate properly, if they didn't give you a good reason why they're not going to be with you anymore, they're not communicating properly, that's one of your qualifications, isn't it? It's one of your standards. You want someone who's a good communicator. Go ahead and keep listing. Why doesn't the person qualify For instance, make sure you include on your list is not loyal. When they say, oh, I just need time to get through this problem in my life, this issue in my life. It's not you, it's me. They're showing you disloyalty. They're willing to get up and leave before the relationship needs to be finished because they're having some issue, some problem. That's not loyalty, is it? So we're making a list, 8 reasons. 8 reasons. Yeah, if you have more than 8 reasons, you can write a couple extra. That's fine. You can write a couple extra. But the point of the exercise is not to write down everything. It's to remind your brain of the things that you used to overlook because you were in love. And that's okay. That's a part of love. A part of love is not focusing on the flaws of another person. That is a part of love. But now that's not appropriate. Because now you're in a trauma bond. You're no longer in a loving relationship. Now that the person has discarded you, dumped you, ghosted you, blocked you, you are now in a trauma bond. So that means you're attached to someone or something that's detrimental to you. It's making you feel bad. So now the appropriate action is to use your devaluation list and start to focus on the flaws so that you can help your mind to recognize what you lost wasn't all that. That's the proper contextualization now. What I lost wasn't all that. Welcome, Lupe. We're doing a devaluation list to help us to get out of pain. 8 reasons on a piece of paper as to why your ex no longer qualifies to be with you, as to what you don't like about them, what's not great about them. That's where you want to start every single time you start to feel that pain. 8 reasons on a piece of paper. And make sure you include that they don't communicate well. Make sure you include that they're not loyal. Make sure you include that they are, that they devalue you, that they can't keep, in other words, a positive perception of you. These are qualifications you have to, that's automatic standards. You need someone who can maintain a positive perception of you. Since this person cannot, and now you know that, only now you know that they are disqualified. I just gave you 3 things, Timothy. Of course, you can come up with 8 things. 8 reasons why they do not qualify, why they don't meet your standards, or what you don't like about them. Welcome, everyone, to day number 4 of Healing Together in our 12 days of healing from avoidant discard. Day number 4 corresponds with the 4th law of healing and happiness, which is always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. Always focus on and do what is beneficial. Always focus on and do what is beneficial. Always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and for others. This is a law. Anyone that doesn't practice this law doesn't heal. Anyone that doesn't practice this law stays traumatized. They stay in pain. You need to choose to do what builds you up, choose to do what aligns, choose to do what benefits you. When we're traumatized, though, we feel the urge to act out of impulse and emotional pain. Breaking no contact is a great example of that. When a person says, I don't want to be with you anymore, the appropriate response is, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I accept your decision. Okay? When you go beyond that, sometimes you start to get into the realm of what's not beneficial and what's actually detrimental. When you start to beg, when you start to chase, because your impulse, your emotions are telling you, no, I can't let this go. And then we look back and we regret the way we handled the situation. So gather yourself, moving forward. You don't have to have shame about how you handled it before, but moving forward, recognize the need to not act out of emotional impulse, but to always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. People pleasing is not beneficial. When you're sacrificing at your own expense out of fear of rejection, abandonment, or whatever it is, the retribution of another person, you're living in fear. That's people pleasing. That's not doing what's beneficial. That's doing what feels expedient for you. When you're overthinking, that's not doing what's beneficial. That's doing what your impulse, your mental impulse, is telling you to do, which is to try to find the answer to an issue. And really, overthinking tends to be negative thinking, which is really underthinking because you're only using that one part of your brain. That's not beneficial. Self-sabotage, not beneficial. Rumination, not beneficial. Always focus on and do what is beneficial. That's where the true healing is. Always focus on. It's a rule. It's a law. From here on out, from this moment on out, you must always do and focus on what is beneficial for yourself and others. Not everything that feels good is good for you. So it might feel good for you to numb. It might feel good for you to never be alone. It might feel good for you to always have music or some kind of distraction going, but that doesn't mean it's actually good for you. It's not actually necessarily healing you that you're always keeping people around, or that you're always playing music or always have the TV going. It's not necessarily actually healing you that you won't take time alone with yourself and you won't think about it, and you won't deal with the problems and you won't deal with the issues. It's not necessarily actually healing for you. It's not beneficial for you to use escapism. So what is beneficial? Attending your 12 days of healing seminar, that's a beneficial action. Working one-on-one with me, that's a beneficial action. Going to the website, booking a one-on-one, going to the website and enrolling in healing school for $1 and change per day until you don't need it anymore, that's a beneficial action. Avoiding conflict, not a beneficial action. So, I think they're coming back. You're avoiding conflict because you're I'm not going to tell them what my boundaries are. I'm not going to tell them what I'm upset about. I'm not going to tell them what they did wrong. I'm not going to tell them what I need. I'm just going to be really, really happy that they're talking to me again. Don't do that. I know it can be exciting when your ex is talking to you, but they are not your God. You are a sovereign ruler over your resources, your gifts and your talents, your beauty, your body, your energy. So you need to set boundaries. Setting boundaries, beneficial. An example of that would look like, hey, I see you want to text me again. Just so you know, I need good communication if you want to have a relationship with me. I need loyalty if you want to have a relationship with me. I don't feel good about the way that ended, and we need to have a difficult conversation if you want to have a relationship with me. You're afraid of them running away? You're afraid of the wrong thing. Be afraid of them staying without changing. Journaling. Beneficial action. Law number 4 for day number 4. Always do what is beneficial for yourself and for others. Journaling is law number 4. I'm sorry, always doing it. Journaling is beneficial. It's following law number 4. Using substances, drinking, getting drunk, getting wasted, is that a beneficial action? No. Speaking your boundary even when your voice shakes, is that a beneficial action? Yeah. Saying yes to avoid guilt, is that a beneficial action? No. Giving up everything you have because your heart is broken. Oh, I guess I'll give up my independence now and just move in with my narcissistic mother. I can't go to work anymore. I feel too sad. I'll just go ahead and lose my job now. I don't feel motivated. I can't work on myself. Not beneficial. Not a beneficial action. Checking your phone constantly for that hit. Did they text? Did they text? Did they text? Not beneficial. Resting instead of overworking, beneficial. Beneficial. Balance, beneficial. Working on your physical body so that since the time is going to pass and it may be months before you're in another relationship, you want to look your best, beneficial. Getting to the gym, beneficial. Working on yourself, beneficial. Healing, being here for the 12 days, beneficial actions. Making sense? The fourth law of healing is what? Can someone write it in the chat for me? Yes, these are being recorded. What's the fourth law? Who's got it? Day 4, fourth law. Always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. Correct. Always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. No, not journaling. I misspoke. Journaling is beneficial. It's following the fourth law. But the fourth law is you must always do and focus on what is beneficial for yourself and others. Excellent. So, are you doing the beneficial actions or are you doing the emotionally reactive actions? What are you doing to get through this? Are you yelling when you feel hurt? That's emotional reactive. The more beneficially aligned thing is to speak your boundary. You know what? I don't appreciate that. That crossed a boundary for me. That makes me uncomfortable. If you're avoiding hard conversations, no, I don't want to bring that up, or I'm too tired, I don't want to talk about that. That's emotional reactive. It's not beneficial. The beneficial action is practicing honesty, kindness, truth. Yes, let's sit down and have the difficult conversation. Let me grab my pen, let me grab my notebook, sit down so we can work this out. That's a beneficial action. Isolating yourself when you feel depressed, being afraid of any more relationships. I can't trust anyone now. Detrimental action, detrimental perception. Instead, reaching out to your trauma specialist, beneficial action. Continuing to have connections, continuing to do your hobbies, continuing to connect with friends and healthy people, beneficial actions. Not being afraid to be alone, journaling, praying, meditating, beneficial actions. Being afraid to be alone, calling other people, sleeping at their house, telling them to sleep at your house, detrimental actions. Recognize what's actual beneficial healing and what's just coping because we're scared. There's a difference. There's a proper way to heal. Healing is not just the time that goes by, it's doing the actual work. And the work is going to be changing the way we think so that we change the way we feel. Can you see how much it would improve your life to follow law number 4, which is to always focus on and do what is beneficial? Can you see how much that would change your life? For instance, many of us here are self-criticizers. Go ahead and tap the screen and put some hearts on the screen if you're a self-criticizer. That's a detrimental action. When you speak to yourself in self-criticism, criticism, you're actually abusing yourself. I remember when I was first trying to learn what self-love was, I always hated the concept. I didn't think, it didn't sound Christian-like to me. It sounded weird and new age and woo-woo and dumb. And certainly nothing I ever heard a man talk about. You always hear women like on Oprah or something. That was where I would hear the concepts of self-love. But it's important to understand for your psychological healing what self-love actually is. So then you can identify if you're actually lacking it or not, because self-love is very much Christian-like. Jesus said, you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. He's the originator of self-love. Nobody even ever heard of that before Jesus said that. He wrote it. Like, what are we talking about here? Self-love is essential for mental health. So how do we do it? Well, love itself is the focus on everything that's beneficial about said person and to do what's beneficial toward them. Again, I'll repeat that for your notes. Love by definition, the real psychological and spiritual definition of love is to do what is beneficial towards and to focus on what is beneficial about whatever it is you're loving. That was why you loved the person. You were focusing on everything that was good about them. That's how you love. So how do you love yourself? How do you love yourself? You focus on everything that's good about yourself. You focus on everything that's good about yourself. You focus on everything that's beneficial for you. And then you do the things that are beneficial for yourself. That's self-love. That's self-love. When you criticize yourself, that's self-abuse. Is it focusing on what's good about you to criticize yourself? Nope. It's the opposite. It's focusing on everything that's bad about you. To sin. To over-criticize yourself. To help you understand how sinful this is, on a universal level, imagine you had a child that you were charged with caring for. Would you over-criticize the child? Would you say the same things that you say to yourself in private, in your mind, to the child? I'm so stupid. I'm such an idiot. Okay, go ahead. Would you say that to your child? You're so stupid. You're such an idiot. See how that sounds? It's abuse. Never do it again. Never say it to yourself again. Oh, this is all my fault. Would you say that to your child? This is all your fault. It's abuse. Never say it again to yourself. Never say it's all my fault. It's abuse. Start thinking about how you talk to yourself. And you need to change it. You don't have the right to speak to yourself in a disrespectful, harsh, and unloving manner. Your job is to love yourself. If you care for yourself properly, then you are less of a burden on others. Because people who don't care for themselves properly become a burden on us as the greater community. And then we have to take care of them. Oh, what happened to that person? They didn't take care of themselves. They overate. And now they're in the hospital. Or they ate too much sugar. Or they had too much salt. And now they're in the hospital. They didn't eat enough. And now they're in the hospital. They don't care for themselves. And now we have to take care of them. They didn't care for their mental health. And now they're in a mental health hospital. We have to care for the people who fail to care for themselves. As a community, we're happy to assist. But for you as an individual, you need to recognize how important it is to get your self-care and your self-love right. The way that you love yourself is to focus on everything that's beneficial about you and to do everything that is beneficial for you. You see how that corresponds with law number 4? Check your notes. Law number 4 is to always focus on and always do what is beneficial toward yourself and others. So essentially, law number 4, when broken down, is to love yourself and others. If we really want to make it simple. Law number 4, broken down, is essentially to always love yourself. Always love yourself and others. We need to always act in love. And when there's a conflict of interest between loving you and the other person because the other person becomes detrimental, where then should we put the priority? What should we do? Should we sacrifice loving ourselves and continue to love the abuser, the neglector, the abandoner, the ghoster? Or should we preserve loving ourselves and let go of the love of the abuser, neglector, abandoner? Who do we got to prioritize if there's a conflict of interest? Who do we prioritize? Other person or ourselves? Who do we prioritize? Who do we prioritize? I'm waiting for the answer. Ourself. That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. It only works that way. The universe implodes if everyone is loving the abusers. The universe implodes. We'll all be enslaved as a race of empaths to the narcissist. Doesn't work. Sorry. There's evil people in the universe, so therefore it wouldn't work for you to continue to sacrifice yourself for the evil people in your lives. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. There's some people in the universe that it is not safe to prioritize over yourself. Therefore, the way that we can keep everything working is to make sure that if there's a conflict of interest, and that's what a narcissist will always create. When I say conflict of interest, that means they will try to get you to sacrifice yourself for their benefit in a way that crosses your boundaries. They will try to cross your boundaries. A narcissist will try to take too much. Maybe not right away, but eventually. You must recognize that that's no longer beneficial for you, and now you have to prioritize doing what is beneficial for you by dropping the idealization, the limerence, the love for them, because now it's a trauma bond. The moment someone starts to become abusive towards you, unloving towards you, neglectful towards you, abandoning towards you, any love that you continue to give them is now a trauma bond. Just like that. It's that simple. It went from healthy to unhealthy as soon as they stopped being loving. Making sense? This is some deep stuff. Can you guys tap the screen for me? Because we're talking about some pretty deep stuff. We just tapped the screen just about 25 times right there. And bring up our overall likes to 16,000. Because we're talking about some deep stuff right now. It's love. That's what the 4th law is all about. Love. You have to admit that there was a little bit of failure to self-love in this relationship. That's why it's hitting us so hard. Because we weren't protecting ourselves. We invested emotionally a little bit too quickly. We overlooked some of the flaws and mistreatment that we were already receiving. Think about some of the times right now. It's beneficial for you to think about some of the times early on that they already started to display behavior that was toxic, or they mistreated you in little ways and you overlooked it. You were like, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Think about that right now. I just want you to think about that so you realize that there were times where you failed to self-love, so that we can recognize now going into the next relationship how to make sure we're giving ourselves everything we need through the relationship. Ideally, applying law number 4 inside of a relationship will mean that we're doing what's loving for them, yes, but we're also doing what's loving for ourselves, which means when there's a conflict of interest, we're going to set and enforce boundaries. As soon as we see the lack of congruence, which means they were love bombing and now suddenly they stopped, we call it out and we set a boundary. And we say, hey, I'm out unless you're going to bring that person back. And we do that right away. It's beneficial to remember that your job to care for yourself doesn't change when you have another human that you're caring for as well. So you still need to be in the gym. It's not about the revenge body, it's about the all the time body. Like I have my ideal body and I'm always working towards my ideal body even when I'm in the relationship. But some of us let that go. It's not about working on your nutrition when you're single. It's about always watching your nutrition within reason. But some of us let that go. Some of us said, well, now that they're gone, I don't feel like eating anymore. That's not beneficial. That's not taking care of your child. Imagine saying that to an actual child sitting next to you. Hey, you know your dad left, so no dinner for you tonight. What? You say that to your kid? I don't feel like feeding you. No. No. Generally speaking, you're going to continue to feed your child. Even though your heart hurts, aren't you? You'll really be going through a bad breakup and be like, oh, let me get in this kitchen and make some food for my child. Wouldn't you? You'll be really, really hurting. And you would still make food for that child. Do that for yourself. That's self-love. It's you in the kitchen crying. It's not just the onions. And you're flipping eggs. And you get the egg yolk just perfectly, like a little bit runny. You put it on top of your perfect Louisiana fried chicken sandwich with the perfect bread. And just the most beautiful drizzle. Man, this looks good. You slice up some fresh avocado and you line up the fresh pieces. I love myself. And you take your perfect, beautiful, Instagram-ready sandwich and you set it down in front of yourself. It took so much work. You didn't feel like doing it for yourself, but you did it anyway. And you're like, man, I gotta admit, this kind of does look good. And then you go and you take a picture for Instagram. You're like, man, this really looks really good. Wow, I'm hungry now. I wasn't even hungry before. I was just doing this because it was the loving thing to do. Maybe I can watch my favorite TV show while I eat this. And then you pick up your sandwich. Man, I can cook. Whoever dumped me really lost a good one because I can really throw down in the kitchen. I'm telling you, that don't just look good. It tastes good. You know, it's nice to be able to have a good meal. Who made that for me? Oh, I made that for me. Well, I'm not so bad after all. Let me take the love that I was pouring into this other person and pour it into myself, even though I don't feel like it. Let me give myself a little bit of love. You know, let me fix up my favorite food and sit down and watch my favorite show. You know, it's actually nice sometimes, to be honest, not having another person around low key. And you can just kind of turn the volume down if your significant other's in the room, because sometimes they're not that fun. Sometimes they ruin the fun. You want to go out to a restaurant, they want to be a stick in the mud. They want to act weird and rude, and they act like they don't want to do certain things that you want to do. Now you don't have to deal with other people's attitudes, other people's lack of appreciation for what's wonderful and what's beautiful. Now you can just go and enjoy your stuff. You can go to a restaurant yourself. Take yourself out. If you're the provider, you're the type of person like to get gifts and take people out, go get you some gifts. Go provide for yourself. This is you can still love. Just put the love into you. You're a human too. Go ahead and look in the mirror. You'll see another person looking back at you. You're a whole human. Sometimes you gotta really like touch yourself and realize, oh, I exist. I'm not just like a spirit floating through. Like I'm here. I'm a whole terrestrial being. I need love. You give yourself the love. That's what law number 4 means. It means to love yourself. To focus on everything and do everything that's beneficial towards yourself. What's beneficial for me? You know what's really beneficial for me? Going to the beach. You know what's really beneficial for me? Moving out of this cold city that I don't want to live in a cold state. I hate it here. I don't even like it here. I just stayed because I always had family or somebody I had to take care of, but now I don't have anyone. I'm going to move. Not because I'm trying to get away from anyone, but because I want to do what I want to do. I want to live in a warm area. That's what's beneficial for me. You understand? That's self-love. That's taking care of yourself. It's doing what's beneficial for you. You. And that's your priority. When you have someone else around, you can bring them up all the way to the level of equal to yourself. You don't put them above you. Common misconception. You don't put them above you. You bring them up to equal status of you. I love you as much as I love me. Not an ounce more. That's your new romantic phrase for your next partner. I love you as much as I love myself. And that's a lot. That's a lot. No, I don't love you more than I love me. But I love you as much as I love me. And that's a lot of love. That's where you put people. That's where you put folks. On an airplane, they tell you, those masks drop down from the ceiling in case of an emergency. Put the mask on yourself before assisting small children. Your own children. You don't put the mask on them first. Even though you would die for your children, the professionals are telling you, don't die in front of your children. That's not helpful. Put the mask on you. Do you see how that's more practical? It's more loving for everyone, even for your children, to put the mask on yourself first. Do you see how that's actually beneficial? If you don't, I can play this out. Right? We're in an emergency. Cabin has lost pressure. We can't breathe. They can't breathe. I can't breathe. I go, let me save my children. I got a mask right here. I could grab it for me, but I don't. So I grab the other mask and I start trying to put it on this kid. And then other kids die. This kid next to me, maybe his mask isn't even secure. But even if it is, then he just watches me die. Now he doesn't have a parent anymore. Okay, I'm sorry I had to play that out, but I just want to make it very clear to you how love actually works. Because you may have been brainwashed to believe that your job is to die and just let yourself die and sacrifice yourself so that everyone else can be okay. But that's actually a very rare circumstance where that would be necessary. Generally speaking, you need to properly prioritize yourself and love yourself equal to everyone else. And the priority is to put the mask on yourself so that you're good. Then you can assist the child. And they don't have to watch you die. Good plan? Good. Look at how you can do this now in your breakup situation. You have to take care of you. You have to take care of yourself. Don't immediately go try to jump into another relationship because you don't know how to be with yourself. Wrong idea. I do want you to be open and continue to vet people, but don't just try to go jump into another relationship as a way of coping. You know when you're rebounding. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you had a child and they're watching you, some of you actually literally have children. If you had a child and they're watching you go through this breakup process, do they need to see how you wallow in the bed for days, skip work, don't eat, don't feel motivated, do a lackluster job? Is that what they need to see? Or would it be more beneficial for the child to see you take some time to mourn, but ultimately bounce back? get up, go to the gym, take care of yourself, do your mental health classes, listen to your podcasts, cook really nice, tasty meals for yourself as well as for others. It would be most beneficial for your kid to see you thrive, to see you be successful despite your pain. So then they realize, oh, I don't have to be defined by my loss. I remember when my mom went through this is coded into their subconscious now. And they go, I remember when my mom went through this and she handled business. Like she was back up doing this and doing that and going out. You want to show the good example. You don't want your kids to grow up and say, I don't want to do it like my mom. You want them to say, oh, I know what to do because I had a parent who went through this and I saw how they handled it. So you want to do what's beneficial for yourself, even just setting a good example. But imagine that you always have a child with you because you have your inner child. And your inner child is observing and your inner child is listening. So all the self-criticism and blaming of the self for the destruction of the relationship, not appropriate. It's not taking care of your inner child. All of the self-criticism and negative self-talk, all the over-worrying about the future and the things you can't control. Do you do a lot of, I'll never find love again? I don't know how to say this kindly. So brace yourself. Shut up. Don't ever speak like that. It's self-abuse. You wouldn't say it to your kid. Oh, you got dumped? Well, you'll never find love again. Do you see how ridiculous that is? I know the feeling of losing someone who you thought was the one. But shuddy on the negative prophecy for your life. You are harming yourself with that type of negative talk. It's inappropriate. It's abusive and it needs to stop immediately. Never say, I'll never find love again. There's nobody else. I don't want to even think about any other person. I don't even want to think about anybody else. Shh. One step at a time. This is day number 4. Focus on doing what's beneficial for yourself as well as others. What's beneficial? It's not beneficial to talk about how there will never be another one. I also don't want to hear that I'm broken. They broke me. This one broke me. You don't understand? They broke me. Shoddy. Never say that. Never say that. You don't speak negative prophecies into your life and adopt a frame of defeat. Let me say that again. You don't adopt a frame of defeat. Why? You already went through something that was abusive, harsh, painful. And then while you're down, you're just gonna... Don't do that. You don't say that. You wouldn't say that to your kid. Well, you're broken. What? What is... This is the voice of your narcissistic parent. Don't talk to yourself like this. Your objective in life is ultimately to win. And for you, that might mean maybe you're someone who doesn't want to be single. So for you, if you want to be in a relationship, then why would you speak out the negative prophecy of, I will never find what I want in life? Don't do that. That's not a strategy for winning. You don't show up to your basketball game and tell the team, we're probably not going to be able to overcome this team. This is going to be a guaranteed loss for us. Right? Your team wouldn't accept that. So stop with the negative self-talk, the self-criticism. No more. Don't ever say that. Don't say I'll never love again. Don't say I'll never find love again. You don't know. Say I don't know. That's the truth. You're just creating a negative. You realize you're not even telling the truth. It's just a story you made up. You just thought of the worst story. Like, here's a bad story. I'm going to get a nail to my head. Someone's going to put a nail gun to my head. That's what you're doing. You just created a false story. Well, one day a nail is going to go through my brain. Why would I say that? Why would I speak that? That's terrible. I denounce that. No. What? What? Why would I say that? Don't say that. That's what you're doing. I'll never. You don't know. You didn't even know you were going to meet this person. Did you forget? Sometimes these relationships are the shortest ones, the ones that are hurting us the worst. And that's because we never had a chance to fall out of love with them while we were in the relationship, because we never got a chance to actually recognize what their real flaws were. That's why we're so hurt, because we still think they're the idealized version of themselves. Sometimes it's a relationship you're mourning, you only knew the person 3 to 5 months. And you're like, I'll never find anyone again. Ma'am, 5 months ago, you didn't even know this person. What are you talking about? Not to mention you said that last time. With respect. Shh. I am using restraint to not say shut up again. Just don't. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You don't have to make any prophecy about the future. Just say, I don't know what's going to happen now. That's honest. That's fair. Say, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen now. You can say, I thought they were the one. Yeah, I thought they were the one. That's real. Just say that. Don't say, well, that was it. That was the only good man left. He was not even a good man. You didn't even have a good one yet. Like, you didn't know the person. This isn't. Stop generalizing. You don't know everyone. Not anyone here has dated all the men in the field. Just relax. Relax. I had a bad experience that didn't go as I wanted. I thought they were going to be the one. I thought that was going to last longer. You can say that. That's all true. That's all true. That's real. But be kind to yourself. I don't know what's going to happen for the future. But if you're going to make a story, don't make a negative one. A nail is going to go through my head. No, you make positive stories for yourself if you're going to make a story. Say, I'm going to get out there and this construction project is going to go wonderfully. So make a positive story about your relationship. You say, or your future relationship. You say, the right one's out there for me and I'll find him. That's a positive. If you're going to make up a story, make up that story. Right? Because isn't it true that what we focus on tends to come true? So why does Roman tell us that law number 4 is to focus on everything that's beneficial? See? You see what we're doing here? You see how we're cooking? You focus on everything that's beneficial because what you focus on tends to come true. You tend to find what you focus on. You tend to grow what you focus on. What you focus on increases. That is right. When you fixate the mind on what you obsess about, you will find it. You will notice it. You will observe it. It will appear to you. That's why people call it manifestation. They say, you're manifesting it. They think the manifestation people, sorry, I know that's half of you in here. The manifestation people, they think that you're actually controlling the universe around you because they notice that this law is so honestly powerful that what you focus on will manifest itself. It will grow. That is correct. It will manifest itself. But you're not literally controlling the whole world around you. I heard this one lady who believed it, man. She said, she was looking up at the sky and a plane flew by. She was like, I manifested that plane. No, ma'am. No, you didn't manifest the plane. But it is true that what you focus on will continue to grow. And if you focus on planes a lot, and you think about planes a lot, you'll see more planes. And when you get a new car, if you've ever had that privilege, you start seeing a lot of other cars that are just like your new car on the road. Because now it becomes a focus of the mind. That's what manifestation is really. It's the reticular activating system identifying with something that you're prioritizing or valuing in your head. That's all. It's all science. It's not a woo-woo. You're not actually controlling the outside universe. And the biggest problem I have, by the way, while I'm on the tangent of law of manifestation, is that it's based on a false pseudoscience, pseudo-religious belief that every single thing that happens to you, you caused it. That is false. It's invalidating for trauma survivors, and that's why that is a false doctrine. Law of manifestation is a false doctrine. But the core of what they're onto and what they really focus on is real. It is true that what you focus the power of your creative mind on tends to come true, manifest, grow. You fulfill these prophecies. You fulfill the prophecies that you write. That is true. That is true. So don't ever say, I'm not going to get the things I want in life. Don't say that. Not unless you don't want them. Yeah, go ahead and say that if you don't want to ever find someone, then say, I'll never find someone. Perfect. If you don't want to make money, say, I will never make money. That's perfect. But if you want money and you want a mate, then tell yourself a story that's going to be beneficial, because what you focus on tends to grow. Law number 4, for everyone, make sure you have it in your notes. It's to always focus on, always do what is beneficial for yourself and for others. Always focus on and always do what is beneficial for yourself and for others. If you do that, what is beneficial will grow. Your life will actually get better. Just to give you a story in conclusion. Imagine, we'll use a woman in this story as the subject, but this could be a guy too. Imagine Stacy gets dumped. She gets devalued and discarded. At the end of the relationship, her man started to just point out every flaw about her. He accused her of being neurotic, which wasn't even true. And then one day, like, they were talking about something serious, but it wasn't like a really bad argument. And her man blocked her. Just like that. They had been dating for almost a year. And her man blocked her. So Amy got a copy of 12 Laws of Healing and Happiness, which is available on my website. And she read in there that she's supposed to always focus on what is beneficial. And always do what is beneficial for herself, as well as others. So she stopped texting him, because she noticed that it was detrimental for her, it would harm her to reach out to him, because he would either ignore the text or write back something mean to her that would hurt her feelings. So she stopped texting him. And she started, in earnest, actually getting to her gym, which to be honest, she had the membership and she's already been paying like $30 a month, because she can't seem to cancel that thing. She doesn't want to cancel. She just never had time to go. But now she's not in a relationship anymore. And she does have the time to go. So she started going to the gym. She started improving her eating and improving her mental diet. She was listening to podcasts and healers and things that were beneficial for herself. She deepened her spirituality. She let her hair grow and got it done in a really nice style. And within 3 months, she was looking better than ever. She was feeling better than ever. And she no longer had the deep pain and anxiety that she had in the beginning of the relationship. And she was wondering, how did I lose that pain? Because I thought I was never going to feel better. I was never going to get better. And now I don't really think about him all the time anymore. How did I do that? When she traced back her steps, she realized she was doing things that were beneficial for her. So she was building a whole new life. She had something to show for the 90 days that had passed. When she looked back, she realized she was taking care of her body. Her self-confidence has gone up. Her self-esteem and her self-image has gone up. She focused on doing everything that was beneficial for herself. Now she looks better. She makes more money. She feels good. She has more time freedom. Follow Stacy's example. And remember, law number 4, always do what is beneficial for yourself and for others. We're going to open up for questions, so go ahead and write your question now. Someone did ask me the question before, What are the other laws? You can learn the 12 laws of healing by getting a copy of the book, the 12 Laws of Healing workbook. You can also type in 12 Laws of Healing into YouTube with my name, and it's there. You learn it inside Healing School. You can do the 12-day or the 12-part series I have on healing your avoidant that has the 12 laws in it as well. But I will read off the first three laws. The first law of healing and happiness is always cut off what is toxic. Always detach from what is toxic. So in the case of a breakup, we need to go no contact physically, but also cut them off mentally, cut them off spiritually, cut them off emotionally. Always cut off what is toxic. Law number 2 is never think or act in fear, always think and act in love. In other words, no more fear, always love. Never fear, always love. Changing the base motivation of our actions. This would heal all avoidance. Everything an avoidant and an anxiously attached person does is according to fear. When you do everything according to love, that's the healing thing, and you stop living according to fear. And then law number 3 is never be consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Never be consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Stop asking yourself, are they coming back? Are they going to do this? Where are they? Are they thinking about me? Do they love me? Do they like me? It's too much. That's consuming yourself with someone else's thoughts, feelings, and actions. I can't control what they think and feel. Therefore, I focus on what I do control, which is what I think and feel. And that's the healthy approach. Trying to straighten out my little sign here. Why is it so crooked? Oh well. Him blocking me was my biggest fear. Yeah, fear came true, right? The thing you feared the most is exactly what the person did. Now ask yourself, does a person who makes my worst nightmare come true and makes me live through my worst nightmare, do they qualify as a future mate for me? Ask yourself that question. So I'm going to go through the questions in order. Don't double text your message. Don't copy paste it. I'm coming for it. Morgan says I really need to focus on more positive thinking. Absolutely. That's doing what's beneficial for us. The evaluation worked out for me today. Thank you. Yes, do the evaluation list every single day. Every single day. Do you have a book, 12 Steps of What You Are Saying? This is so interesting. Yes, the 12 Laws of Healing Journal, available on Amazon. You can get it through my website. Do you counsel teens? I do not, but I counsel parents to tell them what to tell their teens. Do we give the ghoster a pass if he's terminally ill? No. How do I cut off my child's father? They either qualify or they don't. So they're terminally ill. Okay, do they qualify or not? If they're ghosting you, then probably they don't qualify according to your standards because they're not communicating. How do I cut off my child's father? He left us after my daughter turned 1. Cease communication, cease interaction, don't share personal information, stop thinking about them, stop ruminating on them as much as you can according to the law. So if he has rights according to the law, then you have to abide by those rights according to the law. But you only do the bare minimum that's actually required by law. You don't do anything more. He mistreated me. I went psycho on him. I could have gone 1-1 in that mode until he blocked. Thanks for sharing how to stop comparing yourself. Recognize that all people are worthy and valuable they have equal value. So your value doesn't come from your comparison to others. What you do and what you have to offer is special. and focus on your own and compare yourself more to your own growth and your own goals rather than comparing yourself against other people. Why do men compare you against their mother? That's a generalization. All men don't do that. Is it possible to still love someone that you can't stand due to being angry about what they did? You can love someone that you're angry at, of course, but you should not remain in anger because that's not going to be beneficial to you. You need to cure your anger by downgrading it to the actual true emotion that you're covering with it. Especially if it's a safe relationship, you can expose that true vulnerable emotion. So identify, instead of being emotional about what they've done, identify, do they qualify based on what they've done? Him blocking me was my biggest fear. Well, he was already abusive to you. So him blocking you, you need to change that into him blocking me is the best thing that could happen, because now I don't have to cut him off. But either way, there's no way I can continue in a relationship with a person who's abusive. You understand, Mapstree? It's an automatic disqualification. It's done. Relationship over, he's abusive. There's nothing else. So who cares that he blocked you? The relationship's over. You can't move forward with that person. Thoughts and actions, and what is the third one, please? The third rule is don't focus on other people's, never become consumed with other people's feelings, thoughts, and actions. Maybe that's the second one, and the third one was never act in fear, always act in love. When those feelings come up and you say the negative thoughts, it's best to apply STOP, S-T-O-P method. Absolutely, yeah. But you need to negate the negative thoughts. So you should have in your mind that you never want to think in a negative way. And then when you're thinking in a detrimental fashion, you immediately start battling against those detrimental thoughts. You correct yourself with beneficial thoughts. So it should sound like this. I'm an idiot. Whoa, hold on a sec. I never want to say that to myself. I'm not an idiot. Let me give myself three positive thoughts to counteract that detrimental way of thinking. I'm smart. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderful. I'm desirable. I'm intelligent in my own way. I have my own levels of intelligence. Never be consumed with other people's thoughts and actions. Is loving and avoidant enough to qualify them? No. Their qualifications are based on them. Like, do they meet your standards? Do they qualify? Not based on your feelings. It's frightening me that you don't understand what that means. Thank you for your positive content. You're more than welcome. What keeps women emotionally tied to men they've already outgrown? This isn't just a woman thing. Men can be tied to women that they've outgrown as well. So let's rephrase this without the gender generalization. What keeps people emotionally tied to people that they've already outgrown? Sometimes trauma, sometimes low self-worth and low self-esteem. They don't believe they deserve more. They don't believe they can get more, which is detrimental thinking. Could be any number of things. If 6 months have passed, am I safe from the hoovering? No. It's not a time-based thing. Don't worry about if someone's going to hoover you. That's irrelevant. Worry about the qualifications. Do they meet your standards? Do they qualify to be with you? No, they're a narcissist. Okay, then. Or if it's an avoidant? No, they're an avoidant. Okay. Now who cares if they're going to hoover you? Are you helpless to the hoover? Oh no, I'm going to get sucked away. Like, no, who cares? Just block, turn off, delete, end call. You know what I mean? Like, just don't get hoovered. It's not that hard. I feel like my avoidance suddenly got disinterested and intimacy crashed. Is that normal? Yes, that's what an avoidant does. That's you describing an avoidant and then being like, hey, so my avoidant did an avoidant thing. Is that normal? For an avoidant, yeah. you should analyze, does this person qualify for me to be in a relationship with? Which they don't, because they shut down around intimacy. And unless that's what you've always dreamed of, you need to create a boundary and say, look, you got to stop shutting down around intimacy and you got to get help, otherwise I'm out. How do you stop thinking about them? When they come up, you need to force yourself to think about other things, and you need to answer the ruminations by not thinking just negative or giving yourself loops of questions, but giving yourself a propitious question to stop the rumination. You can learn about propitious questions by typing in the word propitious question and my name in the search bar. He discarded me and 2 days later is already with another girl. Yeah, chances are he already had the other person lined up. So, especially if you're talking about a narcissist, they don't even discard you until they have someone lined up. Is a controlling personality a bad sign? It's not a good thing. What you need to work on if you have a controlling personality is literally doing what I call control lists, lying down the middle of the page, and every day, all day, write down on the left-hand side what you cannot control, on the right-hand side what you can control, cross out what you can't control, and you'll realize that you're focusing too much on things you can't control. You said controlled personality? I don't know what you mean, like someone else is controlling it or you're controlling it. If you're controlling it, that's good. Sure, you said, how do I stop thinking about avoidant? The brain doesn't have on-off switches, so you have to retrack the brain. It's like a train. If a train is coming, ideally, if you can divert the train to a different track, that's more realistic than stopping it on its track, right? So you got neural pathways and there's electricity firing through the brain. So when you think about your ex, instead of saying, how do I stop thinking about them? You need to change the track. So you say, oh, instead of thinking about them in this positive way or this nostalgic way or this hurtful way, I'm going to do my devaluation list. And all of a sudden, that dreaming about them calms down. I was in a 9-month relationship. She suddenly ended it out of nowhere. How do I heal? By coming to the 12 laws of healing, 12 days of healing, by going to my website. Link is in the bio. Enrolling in the course on my website, the healing course. By doing a one-on-one session with me. You can book that on my website as well. He discarded me and 2 days later is already with another girl. Don't copy paste your comments, guys. How long after divorce to date again? As soon as you're legally married to date, you can do it within the next 3 seconds. As soon as the judge does the thing and all the paperwork's done and they say you are legally no longer together, you can go directly on a date with another person. You can immediately open up a Tinder profile. I'm not endorsing Tinder or anything, but whatever those sites are that you want to use. He left early, but it hurts me more. I'd rather he gave it more time, so at least we can say we tried. True, of course, you feel that way. But you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on what he did, which is what he controls, which is the other person's actions, which is a violation of law number, I believe it was 2. You need to get focused on now. It's already done. So look at, why is this beneficial? Why is it good? Why is it okay that he left early? What's good about it? Write down 3 reasons on a piece of paper why it's good. Do you do one-on-one talks? Yeah, that's why I keep repeating over and over. You guys can book a one-on-one session with me by going to my website. And then we'll get on the phone and get our little one-on-one heart-to-heart. Angie Walker says, do you have any rules to stop resentment? Yeah, stop being a people pleaser. When you stop trying to please people, then you stop resenting them. Learn to be assertive and set boundaries. I don't have to resent anyone if I just say no. And I don't give too much. How to move past the thinking, I don't want to move on in case he's done the work and comes back. Change it to, I don't know if he's going to do the work or not. So in the meantime, I will continue to be open for new connections and vet new people. So that's what you focus on. He doesn't qualify right now. Do your devaluation list. Tell yourself he doesn't qualify right now. I don't know if he's going to get qualified. So in the meantime, I will continue to move on with my life, pursue purpose. You mainly pursue purpose, and then you're open for connections. And you go ahead and vet new people, men and women that come into your life, you vet them. That's how you handle that. You're not waiting. Don't do the I don't want to move on in case. We don't wait. Because that could be forever, right? So we change it to I don't know, so in the meantime, in between time, you do your thing, I'll do mine, right? What if I see my healing covert narcissist mother being taken advantage of by father emotionally? You're worried about your covert narcissist mother being taken advantage of? Here's a clue for you. Narcissists know how to take care of themselves. It's us empaths that need the help. So you need to take all that energy that you have for your mother, all that empathy and all that concern, and pour it into yourself. Don't give one more ounce of energy, empathy, and concern for your covert narcissist mother. Take my advice on that. Pour it into yourself. He plays the victim and depletes my mom from the basic joys of life. Your mother is a covert narcissist. You can't believe a word she says. She plays the victim. Stop getting manipulated by your mother. It's not your job to save her. She's playing the vulnerable narcissist. It's not your job to save her. Do you understand? I hope you're here listening. It's not your job to save her. Let her go. Mom, you're a grown-up. Grow up. Click. Handle your business. You don't have to say it that harshly. But Mom, you're a grown-up, so therefore I can't handle your stuff. Click. And then you handle your stuff. You understand? Your mom's not your job. Pay attention to you. You're focused on, oh, she's being victimized by her husband. She's a grown-up. She's a grown-up. She's not your job. She made her choices. You worry about you. You're being victimized by her right now. Roman, I ghost for a living and am really fine with it. They are worth it. I ghost for a living? Are you being hyperbolic? You're saying you are someone who ghosts other people a lot and that they deserve it? Is that what you're trying to say? I would rephrase that as I ghost for survival because I don't know how to communicate my feelings. I'm immature and therefore insensitive to the needs of others. And I delude myself into believing other people deserve it. The only reason we should be ghosting someone is if they're abusive and dangerous, or we just don't know them, we've never invested in them. Can we talk more about vetting? Not right now, because that's not what this class is about. But I have Femininity Masterclass where I go into detail on that, and you should enroll in that inside Healing School. And you're going to get a full discussion on vetting. And I go really deep in that. So true, he was already gone before we ended. Yeah, that's sad, but true. I left our apartment and have been at my parents' all week trying to decide to stay or leave. Go home. Don't stay at your parents' house. Go home. Face your apartment. Don't give up your independence and your autonomy and go and stay with your parents. Go home. Pack up today. What is it? 1:15 Eastern? You can still get home for a good night's sleep in your own bed. Go home. Take a shower in your own tub. Clean your own toilet. Go home. Your parents aren't going to save you from this. Go home. We need to heal. We don't heal trying to get coddled back at home and regress into childhood. You're not healing. Go home. Don't rely on other people to soothe you. You soothe yourself. It's not your parents' business. They don't owe you anything, by the way. Get out of their house. Get out of their space. Go home. You have your own place. Our wedding is in 2 months, ... Well, if they left, then there's not going to be a wedding. call up everybody, let them know. It's not going to be a wedding. I don't mean to be glib about it, but this person has shown you that they're not capable of being your husband. That is a good thing, and I want you to rejoice that you didn't marry them, because you're stuck in the thinking of, oh my God, we were just about to get married. It's like, oh, we were almost there. Wrong thinking. Change that to, I just dodged a bullet. I almost went off a cliff with this guy. I almost got myself legally stuck with this guy. And now I see what he really is. If he stayed for the wedding, he would have abandoned you at a worse time. Imagine him abandoning you with your kid. And you're married. Now you're really stuck. Be happy. Rejoice. Rejoice. Always remember how bad they treated you. Correct. Don't listen to your emotions. Correct. Make a list. Eight things that they did that were not so hot. She keep blocking me and unblocking me whenever she needs help. What is the best advice? If it's bothering you, block them. When they contact you, set boundaries. Hey, listen, getting help from me is a benefit of being my girlfriend. Right now, you're not my girlfriend. So if you would like to come back and be my girlfriend, I can tell you what the requirements are. But right now, since you're not my girlfriend, you can't get access to my help. And she'll cut that behavior out. So the problem here is that you're not setting boundaries, cost the boss. Why his mistress trigger me so bad? I don't know why his mistress triggers you, but ask yourself, does he qualify to be my mate? Do I want a man who has a mistress? If he doesn't, then it's time for you to drop him, divorce him. Do you think sending a letter 8 to 9 weeks after an argument discard is a good idea? Are they asking you for a letter? Do they show willingness to change and openness? Do they say, can you please write me? I need to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to pay attention to the words you say and what you teach me. What is a devaluation list? 8 things on a piece of paper as to why they don't qualify or things you don't like about them. Things that are bad about them. I can try and think about 3 positives that he left, but positives about him saying and trying are more... Miss Girl, I don't understand your comment, I'm sorry. Oh, I can try and think about 3 positives that he left. So I was saying, why is it good? So that's just write down why it's good that he left. Yeah, oh, you're saying there's more positives to him staying and trying. That's irrelevant. Yeah, there's more positives to me having $1 billion than there is to me not. But I got to focus right now on what's good about my current situation. Do you understand, Miss Girl? Focus on what's good about your current situation. What if the surgeon who operated on me for domestic violence used me, then discarded me after 5 months? Talk to a lawyer and get advice from them. Let me know if you have a mental health-based question on that. How do I rebuild trust with myself without self-blame? Well, you should never blame anyone for anything, ever. In fact, one of the laws of healing is never be concerned with past blame. Only future responsibility. Never be concerned with past blame, only future responsibility. So, if you're concerned with future responsibility, who's responsible for you in the future? That's right, it's you. So then who do you need to rely upon? That's right, it's you. Reliance is trust. So trust is not rebuilt, it's a decision to give it to yourself because you recognize that you are the one you must rely upon. It is your responsibility to care for yourself. Therefore, you must trust yourself. There is no other option. If you are staying away from narcissists and his mother keeps texting, is it rude to ask her to stop? Don't worry about being rude. Worry about your boundaries, your well-being. Please tell her to stop. What is the difference between doing things in self-love or being selfish? The difference is that a selfish person does things for themselves to the detriment of others. Self-love is not to the detriment of other people. Generally, it's just to the benefit of yourself. It's not harming anyone, to make yourself a wonderful meal and to take care of yourself and to do well for yourself. Selfish people are doing it to the detriment of others. They take from others for themselves. Or show disregard for others in taking care of themselves. I'm struggling with erasure from the avoidant. I have BPD, so it can be emotional, permanent struggle. Yeah, you have to change the way you're looking at it. There's no such thing as erasure. You're not erased. Look in the mirror. You're still here. I'm reading your comment, so you're still here. So there's no such thing as erasure. That's a negative frame. Don't ever say that again. Don't ever create a thought boundary. I never will think of it as being erased again. All it is an avoiding things that are hard for them. That's not erasure. That's them avoiding, like a little baby, like a little runaway, like a little mouse that's scared. Okay? Good. So, in terms of emotional permanence, well, yeah, there is no emotional permanence with this person because they showed you they lack emotional permanence. So you need to move on to someone who can actually give you emotional permanence. This person doesn't have it to offer for you. So you should focus on the permanent situation of them not qualifying instead of worrying about whether they love you or not. I'm listening, thanks. She is 78 but needs to grow up. Yep, don't play into her nonsense. She's way old enough to know better. She knows by now. She's not your responsibility. Should I CONT financing my avoidance while she is taking on space that she asked for? Since you're financing the project, you get to set the boundaries and the rules. So you can use the leverage of being a financier to state healthy boundaries and rules. Hey, listen, I'm going to give you this amount of time and you can have this amount of space. And then this is what we need to do. If you're unable to do that for me, then I am going to have to cut off your finances, and this is the time that I will cut them off. That's reasonable. Set boundaries. I am still in love, but she is detaching. Start your detaching right now. Start detaching. Start doing a devaluation list. I am the one at fault here, but I still want her. Nothing you can do about that. You can't force her to be in the relationship. You can only control yourself, what you do. And right now you need to do a devaluation list and recognize that you messed up and this may not work out. And start detaching. Or subject yourself to the pain by staying attached to someone who's detaching from you. But it's not going to do you any good to try to control her behavior. So your two options are allow yourself to get hurt or mitigate that hurt by doing a devaluation list. What would be the reason to ghost someone if you don't know them well, like you haven't even been talking for 24 hours, you're not relying on each other emotionally, and you can already see that it's a waste of time to continue with the person. But mainly, the main reason you would ghost a person is if they were abusive. And it would be dangerous for you to continue to communicate with them. That's why you should ghost a person. That's the only time you should ghost a person. That it would actually be a danger to you to continue to communicate. Otherwise, there's no reason you can't write one text message to let a person know why you're no longer going to be in communication with them. And if they're not dangerous and toxic, there's no reason you need to block them and you can't listen to hear what they have to say back. I allowed a friend of 20 years to talk me into dating them. He was consistent at first. But then he wasn't after intimacy. He says he doesn't like speaking to anyone daily, I cut him off. You did the right thing. If he doesn't meet your standards, you cut him off. Doesn't matter how long you were friends before that. That's what the avoidance I was with did. LOL, no healing, just comfort. Link for the healing school. Go to my bio and then click the website. But then he wasn't, after intimacy, got that, sent my wolf a message, maybe wife. She left it on red for 5 hours. Then after 9 hours, she said she wants a break. And your name is long distance relationship. I'm suspicious about the situation. But anyway, so your wife is done. So what's your question? Yes, go home, have some chamomile tea with clover, put on your favorite show. Correct. That will benefit you. Correct. Expose yourself to your home and the things that trigger you. Yes. Get yourself, don't give up. The biggest thing, guys, when we're in trauma, don't give up your things. Don't give up your driving because you got in an accident. Don't give up your house because you had a breakup. Keep your things. Don't give up your things. It's hard to think about how bad he was in the beginning because he had started changing and things were going good just before he discarded me. Yeah, that's a part of the manipulation process. He doesn't want you to look at him in a bad light. Do your devaluation list. Focus on that. He ghosted me a month. I told him I'm moving on. He blocked me. Okay. Well, now you know. Where are you located? Which city? I'm on the continent of Asia right now. But I can't give you my city on a public forum. Ghosting is so cruel. Yeah. It's a form of abandonment, emotional abuse. I tried to go no contact with narcissists a few times. I reached out. Not him. I feel like I became one. Yeah, you don't become a narcissist, so you're fine. Just don't frame yourself that way. Continue to have empathy for people. And you said you tried to go no contact, but you reached out to him. Try again. It's a narcissist, so you should automatically go no contact. Sisma. Could you check my message later, please? It's very important. Depends on when you sent the message. If you sent it in the last 4 days, then I'll see it at the top of my list. But if it was sent before that, it might be buried. So you may need to send another message, or I might not see it for a long time. If you're talking about a direct message. One more time with the explanation of selfish love versus self-love, please. I'm writing it down. Selfishness is doing things for yourself to the detriment of others or with disregard for others. Self-love is taking care of yourself that is not detrimental to others. It's just beneficial for you. I missed an answer. How can I choose? I don't know what you're asking. My ex and I split officially after he cheated. He mentioned he wanted to start over. Now say he don't. You can only go by what he tells you. He doesn't want to do it anymore, so he's done. Blamed me for cheating and told me I need to take responsibility. How do I distinguish between healthy accountability and emotional manipulation? Only take accountability for your own actions. Don't take accountability for another person's actions. How can I choose to love me, not the abuser, if the law is to love myself and others? The law is to do what is beneficial to yourself, for yourself and others. But there's a protocol to that, meaning you must prioritize yourself when there's a conflict of interest. With an abuser, there's a conflict of interest. So therefore, you don't continue to love the abuser to the detriment of yourself, because that wouldn't allow you to love yourself. So therefore, since you must choose between loving the abuser to the detriment of yourself or loving yourself to the detriment or disregard of the abuser, you have to choose loving yourself. Like putting the mask on yourself before assisting children, there's a protocol, and the self has to come first in order for you to love the neighbor equally. When those feelings come up and you say best to stop method, yes. Best to use STOP method, but you just need to immediately fight the negative thoughts with positive thoughts. I had to come back in the live, missed the answer. Welcome back. I told him he can ask for space or a break, and we can try again with a different approach. He didn't want that. Nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you can't force him to want what's good for him. You just gotta move on, do your devaluation list. Right now. He has been giving mixed signals since the split. You guys are broken up. It's not about the signals. It's about, does he qualify to be with you? And currently, because you're broken up, he doesn't qualify to be with you. So you need to move on, do your devaluation list right now. He put me through the slow fade, then a discard out of nowhere with no closure. I think that's the worst. Okay. That's why we're here. It hurts. But right now you need to focus on not how did he break up with you, but does he actually qualify to be in a relationship with you? Does he meet your standards? And you will notice if you do your devaluation list right now, he doesn't actually meet your standards to be in a relationship with. Do they push you to want to cheat, like blame you after if you do? Well, you would be to blame if you do cheat, because you are responsible for your own actions. Do they push you to want to cheat? Narcissists will try to push you to want to cheat. Yes, that does exist. Why do I miss my abuser? Because you lack self-love. I blocked some friends as I kept asking for space, but they said they were worried about me. So, if you deem that someone needs to be blocked, they still need to be blocked. It's not like, oh, you said you're worried, oh, I better unblock you. Like, what does that have to do with anything? If you block them prematurely, then that's your fault, and you shouldn't have blocked them prematurely. Don't do that in the future. I still care about him weirdly and would like to recommend therapy, but he discarded me, so I don't know how to. Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't help him. You can't recommend therapy. It's done. He moved on, so for now, you need to move on. Focus on your devaluation list and then get focused on your purpose. I feel guilty, period. Should I have handled it differently? I want you to write down doing life differently. I want you to write down on a piece of paper 5 reasons why you're justified in how you handled it. I need you to write down 5 reasons on why you're justified in how you handled it. And then come back and tell me if you still feel guilty. So turn down the volume on your phone. Write down 5 reasons on why you're actually justified in the way you handled it. And then come back and tell me if you still feel guilty, which you won't. Why care if it's detrimental to others? I don't want to worry the other person feeling, only mine. Why care if it's detrimental to others? I only want to worry about my own feelings. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, if you're referring to one of the laws, but if you're just giving me a general question, philosophically speaking, if everyone in the universe didn't care about everyone else's feelings, then we would have a bad universe or a bad world, which is kind of like the world we live in. So it would be more sustainable if everyone did care to a degree, not to become consumed with, but cares about others' feelings. It's called empathy, and it's beneficial for the whole world. Even after I showed compassion and forgiveness, he used it against me during a phone call. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that he did that. That is a form of abuse. But what you should focus on right now is, does he qualify to actually be with you? And you should do your devaluation list right now. Also, I joined late, so please explain the devaluation list. A devaluation list is to write down 8 reasons on a piece of paper why a person does not qualify to be with you, why a person does not qualify to be your forever mate, why they don't qualify to be your husband or wife. Also, write down the things that you don't like about them, the things you find unattractive about them, until you come up with at least 8 things on a piece of paper. But my nervous system was overwhelmed and I couldn't face the constant questions. You should be doing your justifications list right now. I feel so detached from life after dating and avoidant. How do I get back to myself? All the time, all the energy, all the effort that you're pouring into the other person, now you need to start pouring that into yourself. So focus on the devaluation list so you can pull your energy off of that person. And then do an idealization list about yourself, 8 things that you love about yourself and 8 reasons why you're qualified to be everything you want to be in life. And then move forward and pursue your purpose, pursue your goals. Is it a good idea to do less counseling if you become emotionally dependent on the counselor? Not in all cases, no. What you need is to apply. If the counselor is good, then they're teaching you tools and techniques that you can use to become more independent. So find those tools, find those techniques, and utilize them so that you can become more independent. What if he says his energy is different after saying he loved me 2 weeks ago and is taking a break? Don't go by what he said, go by the current behavior. And based on the current behavior, does he qualify as your forever mate? My husband cheated after 22 years of marriage and now he ghosted me and blamed everything on me. Yeah, sounds right. What do you want him to do? Take responsibility and blame everything on himself? And keep up communication with the person who can remind him that he failed? Is that what you want him to do? It's over. Divorce him. How do you know they are actually sorry versus just sorry they got caught for cheating? You don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. That's being consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. You need to know, do they qualify for you to be in a relationship with them? I caught them cheating. Do they qualify to be in a relationship with me? Do they qualify to be my forever mate? No, they can't be my forever mate if they cheat, because I don't want a cheater. Oh, okay. Now I need to walk away and do my devaluation list. Got it. Do you have tips for women who are not considered attractive by most men who still long to marry? Yeah. 90% of men are getting nothing in their DMs. Pursue. Don't pursue the top 10% most attractive men. Pursue the other 90%. Pursue the guys who are also considered less attractive. Hi, I have, but by the way, you still need to vet and be careful when you're pursuing. So you'll pursue initially, and then as they start to pursue, you're going to need to vet them according to standards. Hi, I have anxiety, too much thoughts coming, criticize me, they are very invasive, can't stop them, question mark. Yeah, you can stop your invasive thoughts. Every time you think one critical thought, give yourself 4 beneficial thoughts. Set a boundary, never criticize the self. Understand self-love is to treat yourself the way you would treat a child. If you wouldn't say it to a child, don't say it to yourself. Of course you can stop. Lacking self-love is mental illness? Question mark. Yes. How can we cure it? By loving the self more, by gaining more self-love. How do you gain more self-love? Treat yourself the way you would treat a child that you're caring for. I cannot seem to heal. Devaluation doesn't help. I know he doesn't qualify. It's been 8 months. I'm doomed. Do your devaluation list and stop making excuses. Stop saying I'm doomed. Do your devaluation list. Mirroring the abusive attitude of a fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant makes us abusers too. Like they are with us partners. Yeah, if you're gonna ghost and block and discard people who don't deserve it, that would be abusive. That's correct. Not to be annoying, but I've tried the devaluation list. I only got to 6. He wasn't terrible. It's the discard that made me see him in another light. Keep going. You need 8 reasons. The discard is a part of it. What does the discard show you about his communication, about his emotional maturity? What does the discard show you about his qualifications as a mate? What does it show you about his loyalty? The discard, right now, does he qualify right now to be your forever mate based on what he's shown you now? Now that you said you can only get to 6, I want 10 reasons. I've sent you a request. I would like to talk to you. Okay, I'm not seeing any DMs right now, but I will check. Says he's a man but believes in 50-50. Does that meet your standards? Do you want someone who says they're a man but wants you to pay for half? If that doesn't meet your standards, then cut him off. Discard that made me see him in another light. Yeah, I got you already. What is good masculinity, ABD, feminine versus toxic ones? If you're looking for a good man, then you look for a man that is epic. 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 Stands for empathy, power, personal power, intelligence, and compassion. You need to show empathy, personal power, intelligence. I'm sorry, not empathy. Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Personal power, intelligence, compassion. Give me 1 second. Ethics, sorry. Ethical, powerful, intelligence, compassionate. Ethical, powerful, intelligence, compassionate. Ethics is their morality. Personal power is their responsibility, how they take responsibility and act according to power. They're not learned helplessness. Intelligence is their wisdom. Compassion is how loving and empathetic they are. That's good masculinity. If I was to write negatives and positives about him, I think the positives are more. You're not cooperating with the treatment, quite frankly. You would be in danger of being dropped as a client right now. Do the exercise. 10 things on a piece of paper as to why he doesn't qualify. Start completely over now. Dating tips, if you want to get better, take the advice and stop fighting against it. Dating tips for a 20-year-old fearful avoidant. I really want to heal. Well, stop dating, first of all. You need to heal your attachment disorder. You need to learn to act in love and not act in fear, and go on my website. So you click on my picture, go to my bio, and then click on the link and enroll in Healing School and set up a one-on-one session with me, and we're going to get you healed. And then you can go back and date as a securely attached person. I sent you a request. Thank you, you told me. Where's the devaluation list? You write it with a piece of paper and a pen. You need to write 8 reasons why a person does not qualify to be your forever mate. Do you suggest dating apps? No, but you can use them. It's just another way to meet people. You still have to vet through them. You got to be careful no matter where you meet people. I've begged for a month with no contact in 4 weeks. Now I want to reach out. Should I? No, you begged. You already reached out. So obviously, if there's no contact, then you should not. EPIC, EPIC. It's ethical, powerful, intelligence, compassionate. Ethics. Oh, are you guys letting me know? Did you guys remember it before I did? I would be very interested to know that. That's very good. After 18 months, he didn't help me with the bills. Should I take him to court for retribution? Not for retribution, but to get your money. Yeah, you should take him to court to get your money. It's a legal matter. Not to retribution, it's to get your money. No anger, just say I need my money. I begged for a month, went back. Yeah. He went into no contact 4 weeks and you want to reach out. No, you need to stop reaching out. The problem, our Elda, is that you're looking for your soothing outside of yourself. You're looking for your validation outside of yourself. You're looking for love outside of yourself. Those are the things now that you need to provide for yourself. I've sent you a request here to talk to you. At the bottom, I've sent a request. Oh, you're talking about to come on live? Is that what you're talking about? Sure,
Hello.
you can speak. What have you to say to us, Amina?
Okay, so I'm in this really tough situation. It's a 2-year relationship that I'm in, and I really love this guy, and I know he loves me, and to the point where he proposed to me. And something came up.
Did you say it's a situationship or a relationship?
It's a relationship, but we're in a situation at the moment.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so 2 years in, proposed to me, and
You got the ring?
some, they got the ring and everything, and he like everything just kind of was falling how it like supposed to be. And so something happened. It's private. I really can't talk about it here, but maybe I'll talk to you about it some other time. But something come up, and he understood the situation, because he didn't like end the he ended the engagement because he proposed to me. He just said that because I know he was hurt about something, but he didn't turn his back on me, meaning like he didn't say I don't want to have nothing to do with you, but he just ended the he didn't he said marriage plans for now are canceled due to the situation, but he still wants to be in my life. He's still trying to figure out the situation. He did, and he said, that could happen to anyone, but that doesn't define who you are, this and that. But his actions after that has changed because he's just going through a lot, right? Like I already know the things that he's going through. Financial, he lives with his roommates, he wants to get his own place, he wants to build himself up. I get all that. We've been talking about that for a long time. But for me, I wanted to talk about the situation, but he wasn't ready to talk about it, meaning he just wants to forget about it. And he just wants to be like, it happened way before our relationship. He realized it wasn't in our relationship. And he's just said, that just, I don't want to talk about that because that has nothing to do with me. And so, but for me, I feel like his mood and energy changed towards me. So it affected me. So I always wanted to talk about it, just to kind of hash it out, see where his head is and everything like that. But he just found that to be me bringing up something that's unnecessary, that's bringing on stress onto him. He was annoyed, but I was emotional because I was like, I kept seeing just like his moods and just things like just kind of was throwing me off, but he was still like, still in my life, but I just didn't feel comfortable being around him. So I'm the emotional one, like over
What's
here
your
trying to.
question?
So my question is, now that we're like, now that he's kind of expressed himself, and I've told him like, I felt like he's been like seeing other women because we haven't been seeing each other, but we've been in contact. But I felt like his venting is doing his own thing, but I feel like he's been hooking up with other women, and I know that for a fact, but he still wants to be in my life. But for me now, I've healed from him putting me through this kind of emotional abandonment, and I've kind of tried to figure myself out, and now I'm kind of owning up, like owning my feelings, and kind of like standing up, be like, I'm like, I'm kind of realizing everything is kind of opening up to me. So now that we're talking, he's kind of gradually, he's been in contact with me ever since, but like not calling me, but talking to me every day, like once a day, like sending me a message or whatever. Like, what are you doing? Where are you at? How was your day? Things like that. But there's no good morning text or anything like that. For me, I had things planned, like for us to do on
What's
Valentine's
the
Day and
question?
on my birthday. My question is, now he's starting to like warm up to me because I've been kind of a little bit quiet and my messages has kind of been a little bit short, but I don't know if I should continue with the trip that we had for our Valentine's, since he's now kind of talking to me because I feel like he's been cheating and hasn't been honest with me. Should I just kind of wait things out until I'm fully healed, or should I give him a second chance? Like, kind of take him back, like, kind of work things out with him, which I wanted in the beginning, but I was hurt from his actions. And now he's kind of talking to me in a nicer way instead of putting blame on me. You're so emotional. You talk too much. You're this and that. Like, kind of saying you need to work on yourself. Blah blah blah. Like things like that that were hurting me. Things that he was saying.
So you were engaged, and then you degraded back down to talking stage.
Correct.
Good. So you're back in talking stage with this person, and when you make a list of your standards,
hmm
does he meet all of your standards as of right now?
Um. Yes, he is. Like, he asked me like to come over. Like, he asked me to pick me up to come over to his place. Usually, I do that. Like, I stay at his place, or like we have this kind of thing where I would stay at his
Are
place.
you sure? Are you sure he meets all of your standards? Everything you want in a husband,
Um.
he does that right now.
The situation kind of changed my
It's a yes or no question.
no,
Currently, right now,
no, no,
today, does
no,
he meet all the standards?
no.
So you have two options. You can set your boundaries, which means to assert yourself or express what you need and say, here's the things you're not meeting that I need. Or you can end it and just walk away because he's not giving you what you need. Either way, if he continues to not give you what you need, you will have to walk away. Those are your only two options. Again, you can assert what you need and he can give it to you, and then you can continue together. If he doesn't give it to you, then you have to walk away. Or you can just go ahead and walk away now because you don't believe you can get it from it.
Understand.
Those are the two things, your two options right now.
Okay, I think that's what I wanted to answer for me. Asserting my list of standards. Like, am I doing that in action, or am I like actually saying that to him when I do see him? Should I bring that up, or should I just show him by action? Kind of like not always being there when he wants me, or text right away when he texts
No,
me, or answer the
we're
phone.
past that. You should always match energy, but right now we're past that because right now you've already known each other long enough. You were already engaged. You've already downgraded. You've worked past stuff. So the question now really comes down to you're asserting actual boundaries by actually opening your mouth and saying, "This is what I need from you." A and B. Give him two things that you need to see change in order for you to move forward.
And is there a right time for that? Is that like, is it going to be like, right when I see him? Because I haven't seen him for about a whole week, like a week and a half. Like, should I say that to him when, I see him right away, or should I just wait? Like, when is the right time for me to bring that up?
As soon as possible, immediately, because you have to plan your life. Like you're saying, oh, I don't know what I'm doing on Valentine's Day. Yeah, because you need to figure this out. And
Yeah.
so, as soon as possible. So, for instance, today, maybe you'll take the afternoon to assess your standards and your feelings, to pray and to meditate, break it down to two things that you need to see from him, how you're going to act, like how you're going to word it, and then send him a message and say, hey, I have to talk to you about something. If he avoids, then that's your answer. If he lets you talk to him, then send him, put it in writing, put the two things in a text, in an email, in a letter, something like that. So it's clear and you have a record of it. And then tell him what you need. Tell him
Okay.
tonight, tell him tomorrow, sometime within the next 48 hours, because you have a life to live. You can't sit around pussyfooting around trying to make this maybe relationship work with the maybe guy who maybe is going to qualify or not. You don't have time. You got
Yeah.
to figure out, is he in or out? That's what the talking stage is about, is understanding if someone qualifies or if they don't. Right now, you don't know. So you're going to figure it out by setting the boundaries. That's going to be the ultimate test.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, perfect. Sounds good. Well,
Remember,
thank
your job is not to keep who you have. Your job is to vet through who you have, not to keep who you have. It's to vet. The whole reason you got into the relationship, or the way that you start the relationship, was that you were trying to figure out if he's the right one. So what's happened to you now is that your brain is stuck on him, thinking he's got to be the one. So I got to make this work, and that delays your healing and your progress because you're stuck on this one person. So you need to actually create the ultimatum, lay it down on paper. Here's what I need. Are you able to give me this or not? And then you'll have clarity, and that's the clarity you need to either move on or continue.
Yeah, the hard part is for our relationship was always communication because it's like, he suppresses his emotions. Like
That doesn't meet your standards.
yeah, he's really quiet, but
Doesn't meet your standards.
yeah, he's not a good communicator at all. He is a good communicator when he wants to be a good communicator, but when it comes down to like, I have my opinion and my feelings, and you have your opinion and your feelings, we can't come together and say, okay, I understand what you mean. I get it. I understand. It's like that kind of bond, that kind of connection. It seems to, I'm the one that gets it. I'm the one that's not trying to go back and forth. But for him, it seems like he's hearing me, but he's not acknowledging what I'm saying. And that's
Yeah.
hard.
It's not just hard, it's a disqualification. You can't
Yeah.
you can't have a husband that treats you that way. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking your question. Go
You're the
and
best.
get to work on what we talked about, and let us know how it went.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hey, Buttercup.
Hi. So my situation is that I am a previous avoidant person who of my patterns of what's the word? Supporting people, dumping them because of fears and my own trauma inside. So I was in a relationship for 15 months. He met my standards, he wasn't perfect, but my fears focused on the wrong things and projected my unresolved wounds onto the relationship. And to be honest, I lacked accountability and I lacked conscious awareness to be able to properly apologize and to actually hear my partner. So, 2 months ago, I told him, hey, I can't bring you back home for Christmas because I have to work on myself, which was true. And at the time, the fear was telling me this isn't the right person. He doesn't do this right. All the self-criticalness that I feel about myself, I projected outwards. So when I was home, I started to do deep work on my subconscious beliefs, in therapy, addressing my avoidant tendencies and patterns, and realized that there is a huge part in, like, there's my part in all of this. So I came back recently, and I was like, let's try this again, and he put up the boundary and was like, no, I don't want to try this again with you right now. I don't feel ready. At first, the old self came back where I was really frustrated and I was trying to plead, but luckily, the work that I've been focusing on, I was able to take a breath, meditate on the situation, and come to the realization that this break is actually necessary for both parties, that it would benefit both of us, for our highest good. And so when we met up to just exchange some of our things that we had of each other's, I was able to show up maturely and speak from the heart, to be in that heart space and to acknowledge and take accountability of my part and address the last couple of months where he felt like he wasn't heard, or that I couldn't take accountability, or that there wasn't enough space for
Do you have
him.
a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have a question?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. My question is, the separation ended fine, but if I wanted a second chance, what would your advice be? I'm not focused on that right now, even though I just asked the question. But as I'm healing, I'm trying to figure out, well, I'm giving the space and the time, and I'm putting no end date on it, right? I'm just doing the work and I'm focused on myself. But from your perspective, what are the best things I can do to enhance this person to actually see the growth in me down the road? Is there a chance?
Where I find myself getting stuck is on the avoidant way that you ended the relationship, which is you literally said, I can't continue with you because I need to work on myself, which retrospect, I just want to point out to you for the future, because it sounds like you still want to have relationships. You don't need to end the relationship to work on yourself. You can work on yourself in a relationship. With
Right.
mitigation, you can just say, hey, listen, I'm not going to have as much time for us because I need to work on myself. I need to work on myself more, so let me go to therapy and do these things and do this thing. But you can still have your technical status. And so therefore you would have never lost him if you would have done the more mitigated approach rather than the extreme, sorry, we can't be together because I have to go work on myself. I'm glad that you actually did work on yourself. That's to be commended. But hopefully, a part of what you've learned now is in the future, you mitigate. You don't end a relationship because you have something to work on. You let the
Yep.
partner know you have something to work on and you go on your journey basically together. Even if you have something to do alone, if I have to go to the doctor alone, I don't say, sorry, we can't be married anymore. Or we can't be together anymore. I just say, I'm going to the doctor. I'll be back. Right.
Yep.
So that's an important lesson to learn from this. It would be really irresponsible for me to try to help an avoidant to manipulate their partner into being with them again. Because at the end of the day, all I know about you is that you're an avoidant. I don't know if your partner is securely attached or what his deal is. It sounds like you're already doing everything you can do, which is focus on taking care of your issues and showing up better and becoming better. And you are demonstrating that and manifesting that to him. It sounds like you still have some level of communication. Am I correct on that?
No communication. That was his request. I wouldn't want to manipulate the situation. That was a part of the old self. The new self is just listening to him. Okay, you need space, you need time, no problem. There's going to be no checking in, no going through a mutual, no stalking, no any of that. I agree. I think it's understanding the repercussions of my decision, and that's what I'm really sitting with. And I wouldn't identify as someone as an avoidant. I feel like I don't want to label myself that and stay trapped in that label. I feel like I was a wounded person who is having more awareness in themselves and doing everything they can in their power to overcome their self and to face themselves.
I acknowledge that, definitely. I see that in you, and that's good. But yeah, this is one of those consequences of the actions type things. Like, it's similar to when I have people come on, they're like, I cheated on my spouse. How do I get them back now? It's like, I can't help you with that. This isn't cheating. You didn't cheat, but it's an act of disloyalty. It's like, I'm abandoning you. I'm leaving you to take care of something. So he's taken the option of, okay, I'm not going to just get back with you. It sounds like he's laid the boundary that he doesn't want communication. How long has it been since you guys have talked?
Just a few days.
Yeah, well, respect the no contact. Give it some time.
Okay.
Give it some time. And
I was thinking like 3 months for myself, just to like, I don't feel the urgency. I don't feel like this addictive behavior coming through where I need to know, but I just want to make sure I'm like being respectful, but also being realistic. Like, from your experience, have you seen someone on the other side like be able to give another person a chance if they were truly doing the work, you know?
yeah, most of the time. But I
Okay.
don't know what his thing is. I don't know if he's securely attached or what the deal is.
He, I mean, to be honest, from my experience with men, he was very securely attached, could communicate, had very clear boundaries. And that's truly what helped me get on my track. Because of his boundaries, it helped me see myself and my shortcomings because of those clear boundaries that I struggled with in the past.
Yeah, if he's securely attached, yeah, there's absolutely a chance that he'll take you back. But yeah, you do have to sit with the consequences. Like, don't forget the immense pain. Just because he's a man, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when your girlfriend dumps you.
Yep,
So
yep.
don't forget the immense pain that he just went through. And how long did you stay separated for
Um,
when you
it,
initiated it?
it's been about 2 months now, and we just saw each other for the first time the other day. So some
Yeah.
time has passed, yes.
This is the time to tap in a little bit onto
Hmm.
the pain of what it feels like for your girlfriend to stop talking to you for 2 months.
Yeah. Well, 1 month, no talking. Yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, that's fine. You're talking to someone every day, and then they're like, no, and then all of a sudden you can't speak to them. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And
I am
he doesn't
watching
he
your,
doesn't want to yo-yo back and forth. Like, he doesn't want that.
yep,
So he's looking for some stability.
yep.
So
Well, thank you very much. I'm watching your video series on how to heal a avoidant attachment style, so that's really helpful. So thank you very much for your advice.
yeah, I'm really excited for you. I think that I'm really excited that you've healed yourself and you're healing. I think you should utilize all the tools I have available. I have a special attachment healing clinic that's really helpful. Just in general, you should come to my meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays. You're a trauma survivor, so you should come to my free meetings and take advantage of all the
I would
tools.
love to. I would love to.
You're gonna benefit from that in the meantime. And but yeah, I'm really hopeful and I'm really excited about the future. And I think it's a good idea that you let some time pass. And it might
Yeah.
be appropriate after, like I said, some months, like a couple months, it might be appropriate to try to initiate contact, not
Yeah.
from a place of disrespecting boundaries, but from a place of hopefully communicating the earnestness of your heart and your
Hmm.
growth. And hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, it was a life-changing lesson because it was an energetic pattern I was carrying for most of my life. So thank you for witnessing me and encouraging me, and even just hearing me in these short minutes, my earnestness. But yeah, thanks for sharing about the Monday and Wednesday class. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, and depending too, if you end up being able to work with me one on one, down the line as is appropriate, I can potentially, depending on details of you guys, potentially help mitigate a reconnection.
I was actually thinking about that because last year when I was still pretty unconscious in my patterns, he was suggesting, "Hey, let's do couples therapy." And like I said, I was not ready. I couldn't hear him and I was stuck in my own patterns. But when I was watching your your avoidant videos, I thought, wow, this is the teacher I would want and to help translate between both of us. And I went onto your profile and I saw some options there. So that would be great. I mean, I'll reach out to you separately and see if we can meet one-on-one first and talk. And then from there, let's see. I was just watching your videos and it said that you're alive. So this is kind of really trippy because it's all happening so fast. But that would be really fantastic. And if he's open, if his soul and heart is open in a couple of months, I think you would be wonderful because I feel like you really understand. I felt very seen in those videos, and I'm out of the self-punishing cycle of shame, and I'm into a more empowered state where I'm in more of a love, heart-centered space of the work I've done, where I believe in myself and I believe in what I'm saying. And I do believe it's possible for people who have experienced intense trauma to heal themselves and to create a better future for themselves, to have relationships and love in their life.
Absolutely. So thanks for connecting, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Miss Peaches.
Hi.
Do you have a question for me? You have a question for me?
Yes.
You got 3 seconds to ask your question.
Hello.
Hi, Katja.
Hi. I wanted to, like from the beginning, apologize for my English and accent. I hope you can understand me. Anyway, I am puzzled with my situation because I was discarded and I felt abandoned because of my avoidance, my ex-boyfriend. And now I'm seeing all those like videos explaining that the avoidance experience so much stress with the emotions that they shut themselves down, and I don't know how if my feelings are valid. I know that all feelings are validated and everything, but now I feel like I don't know how to I don't know how to say it if you understand me, like that my feelings are less valued because they've put themselves first, because the stress took them over, and I don't know if I should feel bad for myself or no, because they have a problem with the stress, that like they get shut down, they can't let themselves I think feel and like take responsibility for everything that they've caused, like the harm and the pain, because they feel so bad and so stressed they can't take action.
Don't confuse the explanation for why an avoidant does what they do as being an excuse for why an avoidant does what they do. They are not excused. So just because they have a problem with stress and they have trauma and they have a good reason why they have done this extreme action against you, they still did something to you that was hurtful, that was harmful. They still discarded you, they blocked you, they ghosted you, they dumped you. And so
Yeah.
if they've abandoned you, then you were abandoned, therefore you were mistreated, therefore this is an abuse, therefore this is a trauma for you. Therefore, you do need to feel sorry for yourself. You do need to have compassion for yourself. And that should be where
Okay.
your focus is healing yourself, because you're not going to get it from him. You should not look for it from him. You should not ask him for it. You should not be sad that you're not getting it from him. You should just focus on giving it to yourself, because That's what you need right now.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. That
You're
makes
welcome.
sense. Yeah.
Yes, you were mistreated, so give yourself that
Because
compassion.
I started to feel like maybe, and some other people started like putting this pressure on me that, well, like because I broke up with him because he wasn't my needs weren't met, but we still had so much love for each other, and for 2 weeks we tried to make it work. And then I found out something, of course, like always, that he was like disrespecting me, talking to. No, it doesn't matter. And then the abandonment happened. Like I told him everything. I needed to talk to him, and he just gone. Said he'll explain it, and then nothing, of course, happened.
Yes,
And
give yourself
yeah.
the compassion and make sure you're enrolled in my healing school on my website, and doing one-on-one sessions with me and coming to our live meetings every Monday and Wednesday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Hello.
Hi, Denisha.
Hey, I just had a quick question. So I've been in and out of a relationship with an avoider for like what 3 years, and like this time, so the last time we got back together, he was doing really good for like really talking through conflict, and I could see that it was hard for him to do, but he really did push through a lot of the conflict that we were having and didn't like run away as he normally did. But then, like, maybe like 8 months in, we had like a big conflict, and then he kind of just like shut down and stopped talking. He didn't block me or anything, like, but I think that he waited for me to like reach out to him first to like, you know, for him to speak. So now we're speaking again, and he took accountability for like shutting down, and he said something's wrong with his brain, and he doesn't know why he does this type of thing, and he's gonna try to do differently. Like, I don't know whether to believe what he's saying or just to be like, okay, done with the situation.
You have to look at the current actions and if he qualifies based on his current behavior. So, does he qualify to be your husband based on his current behavior? The answer would be no.
Mm-hmm.
He's not healing his trauma, or he's not healed from his trauma. You need him to be healed, past tense, for you to be together. So, based on that, you need to set that boundary that he needs to be healed and then not get back together with him, not be back together until he's healed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do I know if he's healed though?
He won't be saying things like, I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
Yeah.
He won't be waiting for you to initiate important conversations. You'll know. It's not going to be a mystery to you. You're not going to be like, I don't know. It's going to be very clear.
So the fact
And
that I am confused is like a sign that it's not. I shouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the fact that you're confused. He's very clearly not healed. He's basically said it himself. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm acknowledging something's wrong with me, but I don't know what it is, meaning I'm not healed. I haven't done the work. I haven't done the therapy. I haven't grown.
Okay. And we did attend couples therapy before too. Like that was another weird thing. Like,
That's
but
I
that
don't even
doesn't.
recommend couples therapy. That's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Like you said, he's an avoidant. Avoidance can heal, so he can heal, but he needs to heal. What you need to stop doing is trying to wait around for it to happen, keep taking him back, keep fooling yourself into thinking that it has happened. Stop taking back an avoidant. You need to do your healing work so that you can stop being toxic, and you need to allow for him to actually heal and then get in a relationship with a secure person as a secure person. Right now, what you're doing is wasting your time in your life. This is not productive.
You're right. You're definitely right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Denisha. You have a good one. Make sure you keep coming to the meetings. I do meetings on Monday night and Wednesday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Hi, Jakara.
Hey, how are you?
You have a question for me?
Yeah, I do. So how do I have like a narcissistic baby daddy, right? And for some reason, like he just likes to argue. And it's like not a day that goes by that he mentally drains me. And then it's just like every time when we argue and I like defend myself or say something back, he brings up this other person that he was involved with when me and him got back together.
Let
And
me
he,
ask you. Let me ask you this, because you told me a lot by telling me he's a narcissist and he's your child's father. So skip to the end. What would be your question for me?
how do you just like, I guess, like let go of someone that doesn't do you right or like that discards you?
Are you still in love with him? Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically.
You need to do your devaluation list.
What's that?
It's 8 things on a piece of paper as to why the person doesn't qualify to be in a relationship with you. You got a narcissist there, so you might as well do 16 things. 16 reasons why the person doesn't qualify to be your forever mate right now. 16 things on a piece of paper as to why that person doesn't qualify to be your forever mate. 16 things you don't like about them. 16 things that are unattractive about them, all mixed together. You need 16 points written down on a piece of paper. Get to work on that, and that will lower your desire for the person, and then you can fall out of love with this detrimental individual, which you need to do immediately. You also need to cut contact to only the amount that's necessary legally, which is only about your kid. You're exposing yourself to a toxin. It's going to continue to make you sick. You have to totally cut that out.
Okay, thank you. Understandable.
All right, get to work.
Hello?
Hi, what can I call you?
Hi, my name is Angela. Um, First off, thank you for accepting my request and also just like providing the space for people to ask you questions. I really appreciate the work that you do, so I just wanted to put that out there first. My question is very similar to what the last lady had asked you, only for me. Recently, I've gone back into the gym. I eat properly now. Like, I eat 3 times a day. Like, I go to sleep at a regular, like, time and stuff. Like, I've fixed up a lot of areas in my life, and I'm just noticing that my relationship, even though I do love him, I can't really say that, like, I'm confused about whether or not I'm still in love with him, but I know that I have love for him. But I am noticing that like my relationship with my partner is beginning to kind of disintegrate for some reason. I think we're starting to become more mismatched because I'm going in one direction and he's kind of in another sort of thing. So my question is also, I guess, how do you let go? But it's how do you like let go like when you still love the person and when like you want to change and you want to grow and you're making these steps to becoming the person you want to be and they're not, like how do you approach this?
This is not a narcissist you're dealing with,
No, this isn't a narcissist.
but you're growing and they're not.
I can't say that he's not growing at all, but it's just not, it's not in the same ways that I'm trying to grow, and he doesn't care to grow. Like I've tried kind of, you know, like there's areas he knows he needs to grow at. Like he knows he needs to get a new, better paying job and stuff. He knows he needs to graduate. He knows he's got things he needs to work on, and I'm working on my things, but I don't he's not working on his stuff, and I just feel like I feel myself.
Keeping it simple, you're trying to
Mhm.
grow and he's
Yes.
not trying to grow as the way you want him to grow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the point of a relationship is to find your forever mate. The point of
Mhm.
the whole dating process is to find your forever mate. It's not to keep the person you have. So you're caught up in trying to keep the person you have, which is understandable because our brain couples with another human. You've already idealized them as being your one most important human in the world. So your brain is not going to automatically decouple itself. You have to do the
Mhm.
work of decoupling yourself from it.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's the physical things like you need to separate physically and you need to go no
Mhm.
contact and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
in the meantime, to help your feelings along with it, you need to do your
Mhm.
devaluation list. And that's
Mhm.
by writing 8 things on a piece of paper that disqualify him from being your forever mate. You have to keep
Mhm.
doing that every time you feel the surge of love. And that helps to reprogram the brain, helps you to see him on a more realistic plane, and then
Mhm.
allows you to take action, which this is a time now for taking action that's not based on emotion. It's based
Mhm.
on what is
Logic.
beneficial for me.
And facts, yeah. It's a good idea, to be honest. I had seen the devaluation list on one of your videos, but I forgot about it, to be honest. So it's 8 things. I think I could also like put it you know, like above my desk. Like I'm at my desk right now, I'm doing work, and I just seen your live, so I had to pop in. But yeah, to just put it above my desk, I think would be a good idea. I forgot about the devaluation thing, but for sure I'll do that. And yeah, it's just it's tough when like you still like you love them and like you want the best for them. It's not that they're a narcissist or that they're toxic per se, but it's like misalignment. It's like just growing in different directions. That's like, I don't know. It's almost like not toxic, but it's like tougher to approach and
You
deal
could
with
still
in that way.
regard it as toxic. It is still
It
toxic
is.
for you personally. Even if they're not abusive, that's good, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
toxic for you because it's not aligned with your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not aligned with your purpose is essentially toxic to you because it can pull you off of your alignment. So it's bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want you to regard them as toxic for you.
I
And
see.
every time, it's not about posting it up. You can do that if you want. You can post the
Mm-hmm.
list up, but you need to actually do the work of writing it out every time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your brain will come up with new reasons and new things to add to the list. So it's an actual process. And it helps to reprogram the mind because essentially you've done the opposite for all these months or years that you've been together. Is focus on everything that's great about them, everything you love about them, everything that's good. So now you got to get the
Mm-hmm.
brain decoupling from them and stop seeing them in this idealized state. So that's the purpose of the devaluation list.
Mm-hmm. Is
So
it
keep.
is it is it wrong for love to be conditional? Like
Um,
dependent upon your growth and their growth and alignment, and like is it wrong for love to be conditional in that sense?
it's a good question. No, it's not wrong.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
the question has a complication to it in that a lot of people don't understand what love is. And so I don't know if you and I are operating on the same definition of love. So what I'll say to that is, in terms of having the emotion of love, that's one thing. But in terms of doing the actions of being in a relationship with person and giving them access to your resources, it has to be conditional.
Mm-hmm.
So love needs to be conditional in the sense of having a partnership, being forever mates needs to be conditional. You can't give unconditionally access to yourself and they just treat you however, or they just act however. No, you
Right.
need to have conditions. Those are your standards or your boundaries that I always talk about.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving me the time to actually ask you a question. I know I actually asked you two, to be honest, but I really appreciate it and the work that you do for us and also I guess for yourself too. So thank you.
I appreciate you. Please show up at more lives.
I will.
Talk-
Thank you.
Take care.
Hey everybody, good morning.
Talk to me, Hyper. What's your question?
Right, so gonna try to make the introduction short, but I was in a relationship, 3-year relationship with a girl. She's a Muslim. I gave up a 15-year relationship with another person because I thought that she was the one, because I was already miserable with the other one prior to that. And I thought, because of all of these ideals that she told me, that she was a different kind of Muslim, that she lives her own life, and that she knows that, she's a good Muslim with just how she lives, and she doesn't follow the usual ruling, whatever. So I said yes to her, and we were supposed to build our lives together.
So you're
But
in a romantic relationship with a Muslim?
yes, sir. And in the
Woman, and
beginning,
you're a woman, so you're in a lesbian relationship with a Muslim.
yes.
But she's a
And
good
I know
Muslim.
it, I know it sounds crazy, and
It's not crazy.
that's
It's just contradictory.
it's
She's a
very
good Muslim, but we're in
contradictory.
a lesbian relationship. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
That was already a red flag in there that I kind of like just, ignored, because I thought to myself, I think I was really desperate to just settle down and just make her it, like make her the one. So I can just stop with this search in life already for the one. But long story short, just like any other female Muslim, I think she changed her mind. So she married a guy behind my back, and I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until 6 months later. So of course it devastated me, because I gave up a lot, monetary wise. I even gave up my house just to be with her. But it's more about, I think, my feelings and my ego getting hurt, that I got bamboozled like that. Even though I already saw the warning signs, I just chose not to. So my question to you is, because the most recent thing that happened was I went to the UK, and I was in no contact with her for 4 months already. I was doing somewhat okay already. And she met up with me because I said yes. And then she just kept on saying that you really are the one that I want to marry. I'm just looking for, one reason for me to put in my divorce papers that will not make it my fault to leave him. But I know it's not going to happen. I know, I see you smiling. So today, I just told myself, you already knew that even talking to her behind her husband's back is wrong. And all of this stuff. I've already conditioned myself. You need to put the brakes on this already and leave. I just need a solid advice from you, because I've been watching you for a while, on how to go about it again the proper way. Because I feel like I just went cold turkey the first time. That's why it's like smoking. When you go cold turkey, you just keep coming back for some reason because you did it wrong in the beginning. So I needed some really good guidance from you on how I can start all over again with just going no contact. Where do I begin to actually at least put the pieces together of myself and my heart? Because right now I'm just numb, I think, because I feel like I got stupid again, and I let things happen again, and it's not going to end if I don't get proper guidance.
Forgive the smile.
Oh,
You came on and you gave us the tea. That's why I had to get my tea cup.
oh,
My goodness, like it's some kind of movie over there. Um,
right.
if you strip away all of the tea and the excitement and the fireworks from this situation, what you're dealing with is a person who uh, hasn't represented themselves honestly. They made you believe that you were going to be together. and then
Mhm.
they ended up saying they're going to go be with someone, just deciding to go get married to someone else. So they told you you're going to be together, then they married someone else. So their actions aren't lining up with the words, right? So can everyone hear me okay still? Yeah, I just muted her because the back, you had some traffic in your background, so I muted your mic temporarily here. So when you're dealing with someone like that, you just have to ask yourself, does this person meet the qualifications of what I'm looking for in a forever mate? You're dealing with is, oh, I feel this love and I feel like they're the one, and they're telling me that they're going to do this and they're telling me they're going to do that. But the reality of your situation is the person is not living up to what they say they're going to do. So your job and your responsibility now is to do your devaluation list so that you're bringing down this love and this romance that you have for this person. And you need to focus in on seeing realistically that they don't qualify because they are a liar. They don't live up to what they say they're going to do and what they say they're going to be. So for now, it wouldn't be appropriate for you to continue to hold them up in a positive light in your mind. You can go ahead and unmute if you have anything else to say.
Yeah. So I think I'm just sorry. It's not even about her anymore. It's about me being just so disappointed at myself for allowing this to happen, because I've never been in this
There's no value
situation.
to that. There's no value to that.
Yeah,
Being
and
disappointed in yourself is self-blame for someone else's action. There's no value to it. Don't beat yourself up. Someone else's choice, someone else's action has nothing to do with you.
yeah, and I really need to do something about it now, like literally just right now, because she at the moment she's actually messaging me because just looking at the situation, she's already married, and the fact that she still continues to message me and telling me all of this, she's been married for 9 months now, really does speak volumes about the kind of person that she is. I just need my brain to wrap
But also,
around
how does it
that
speak about
idea.
you? How does it speak about you to continue to talk to someone who's married?
Exactly. And it's very shameful.
So,
It's very,
so therefore, no, don't stay in shame. Let's get to the action. So you need to stop doing what is inappropriate, and you need to set a boundary. So you should communicate clearly to her, this is not right. You want to reach out when you're not married, that's a different story. But right now, right, we can't talk like this, and that's the end. And let her say peace, but then you guys gotta block each other and move forward until she gets her situation again. Plain and simple.
yeah. I mean, it's just so
What you're
wrong.
doing, it's illegal. You gotta stop. Plain and simple.
It is. And, you know, I know that somehow there's a healthy brain in me because, you know, I keep telling myself this is wrong. She's already done you wrong by marrying someone else. And now she's already married, and you're being part of a party where you're actually talking to her behind her husband's back. Then
What's
you're
the
just as
action?
bad.
What's the action you need to take?
The first thing that I need to do is to just stop. I don't want to go cold turkey on her, but I want to tell her that I want to stop doing what we're doing, the talking thing, even though it may sound as innocent to her as it does, like we're just checking up on each other. The talking needs to stop because
Good.
we had a romantic
That's
history
the
with each other.
action you need to stop. Exactly. That's the action you need to take. That's it. There's nothing else to discuss right now. After you take that action, if you want to come back, that's fine for your emotions. You can do your devaluation. Okay? I have healing
Okay.
information, free healing information you can tap into on my website. Go take the action that you need to take, and then we know that we're ready to keep moving on through your process.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really needed it because right now she's messaging me nonstop. And everybody, thank you so much for your comments because I'm getting some ideas. Like there's no other way but to go cold turkey, really, again. But
Yeah,
have
you can
that,
you can
have,
communicate. You can tell her that you're cutting it off, but then cut it off.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everybody's help and especially you, Roman. Thank you.
Thank you. You take care.
Bye.
See why Paula really started this with the T emoji, and then I got to smiling, and then then somebody called me out for not having anything in my cup. That's just wrong. Okay, when it's tea time, it's tea time. You don't have to call me out for not having anything in the cup. I didn't have enough time. I didn't know we were going to get hit with that level of tea. Okay. Well, on that note, thanks for being here for day number 4 of what to do with healing together from being ghosted, blocked, discarded, and dumped. You never know what kind of situation might pop on these phone lines. So here we are. We're doing it together, wide open, healing the whole world. I forgot to ask her what country she's in. She had an American accent.